Hello Malaysia, this is Gerryko here and this is a Wait a Minute production. I'm cooking, yes. Today is the 26th of December 2013. It's 7:50 p.m. and it rained quite heavily. It's a storm actually in slang or PG or KL. Storm about a couple of hours ago. Lasted I think for 2 hours. Lovely to sleep, to wait out the storm. So today I'm going to make a normal type of fried rice, Gerryko style that is. So let's get on cracking. So down here we have some of the ingredients. There's garlic, there's a chibai burung, which is very spicy. It's from my garden, so fresh. Then there's the small little onions, very small ones, okay? Which is this one here is more flavorful compared to the big one. The big one is a bit too big. So in Asia we have the fortune to have these small little onions here, because they have a lot of flavor in it, compared to the ones that the Gaijins or white people, or Caucasians, they like to use this one. This one is not much flavor, but they use this one because maybe this is available in Europe and America and whatnot, in the cold countries. Not as flavorful as this one here, especially when you caramelize it and fry it. But they use this one here more for making, like say, spaghetti bolognese sauce and whatnot, and it's easier to chop as well. This onions here, it's very hard to chop, and that's around 3 small little red onions here, the size of testicles actually. And about the garlic here, about maybe 1 or 2. It's one bulb, right? So what do you call actually the small pieces of bulbs? No idea actually. So that's like 2 or 3 individual small little pieces. Okay, so I better close the window because there's a lot of karaoke going on outside, and definitely YouTube's copyright system, the software which is broken, will not recognize the azan or whatever you call it as copyrighted material, because it belongs to God, I guess. If God were to claim a copyright thingy, then we are all fucked. So let's see, garnish is all done already. 1 egg, and this one is quite a big portion of vegetables here. It's frozen, so the only way to get these vegetables is through the frozen means, so it's alright. It's kind of fresh, I guess. It's frozen, so it should be fresh. There's carrots, peas, corn, and that's about it. And carrots is very important because it gives a flavor to the fried rice. When you add these vegetables, it will lend a flavor to the fried rice. Because the carrots, if you cook it or you fry it, it will be, I don't know whether you can call it as caramelization or not, but it is sweet. When you cook the carrots, it will be sweet, and that's why the carrots is one of the ingredients in making the spaghetti bolognese sauce, besides onions or what do you call celery? Is it that green thingy? I think it's called celery or something else. Who knows? They all taste the same and look the same as well. So next up I have chicken here, chicken pieces. So you take your frozen chicken from the freezer and half thaw it, so that when it's still cold and a bit frozen, it's easier to actually chop the damn thing here. So it's small pieces, and I've marinated it in soya sauce, which is the salty version, because soy sauce can be salty or can be sweet. This one, the selected light soy sauce from the Gamki. So we can just marinate these buggers here for, like say, 1 hour, and the flavor will be absorbed into the chicken here. You can add more flavor to it by putting white powder, not white power, okay, not racist here, not a KKK, triple Ks, Ku Klux Klan, that is. White powder here is the lada putih, white pepper. Normally, I think a lot of people in Malaysia, when they cook fried rice, they use the white pepper, the powdery one. The black pepper, no, that's a no-no for making fried rice, because that one is good for Gaijins or Caucasians when they want to, like, say, make a steak. Yep, beef steak. You have a piece of steak, you only marinate it or cook it in or with salt and also black pepper, which has been grounded. So next up, another ingredient which is important is salt. You can use either salt, I prefer to use salt, or you can use this one here, the light soy sauce, but I like this one better. This is sea salt, so it's different from the iodinized salt. Iodinized salt has a iodine smell to it, so it's not that nice actually, even though it's cheaper. So then we have one of the flavorful sauces here, which is we call sauce tiram or oyster sauce. It lends a taste to the fried rice. Definitely use a bit of it. Nice. So next up, the most important thing of making a fried rice, I better heat up the wok. The most important thing when making a fried rice is definitely fire, right? Gas. No fire, no fried rice. No, I'm just joking here. So the most important thing is the rice, of course. That's the main ingredient for fried rice, and this has been like stewing in the fridge for like 3 days, I think, 3 or 4 days, God knows. Yeah, this portion is almost fit for 1 or 2 persons, 1.5 person, okay. Just me, and also can feed a dwarf, so 1.5 person, a dwarf and a person. So why is it important? The kak yefan or stale rice, not stale as in really like moldy and shit, I mean moldy and stuff. Okay, it's smoking. It's smoking already. Better turn on the extractor fan. It'll be a bit noisy, unfortunately, for me or you. So why is it important? Let me think. Let me put some oil first. The first thing that I'm going to do is fry an egg, okay? So you have an egg here, and well, I'm going to get something which is a bowl here. Fill it with filtered water. Fill it with filtered water. I turn off the fire because I just wasn't prepared for this one, since I just decided to actually do the egg in a different way. So let's see here. So there's some water here, filtered water, so that's a bit will do. And there's an egg. Okay, you want to crack the egg. The most important thing is crack it on a flat surface, always on a flat surface, not on the edge of, like, say this edge here or the table's edge here. Nope, only a flat surface. So put it into the water, the filtered water. Dispose of the eggshell. Either you dispose of the eggshell, or you can use it as an organic organic compost. So excuse me. So toss it well, very well, that is. This will lend it, give it a consistency that makes it expand much bigger. So turn up the fire again. And give it some more. You can salt it if you want to, it's up to you. But I prefer the salted once it's done. So the telur dada or breast egg, no, not that dada. The egg put some water into it, and it will become fluffier, bigger. That's how the Chinese do it. Of course, you can just normally, without adding water, just just put it inside the hot water. It's smoking already, so turn down the fire into the minimum and spread it around. So if you go into those Chinese restaurants and whatnot, they do it like this to add more. It's not like cheating, it just gives it a bigger mass, you know. Hope you understand. Do you understand the English that's coming out of my mouth? So let's spread it around. Okay. As I was saying, if you watch one of the Stephen Chow is a funny monk who did that, Shaolin soccer and also Kung Fu hustle. See, it's spreading around quite nicely. So put it back here and salt it. If you watch what God of Cookery is it? Six Sun, salt it. There's some truth in it. When there's one section of the movie that says, when you're making fried rice, do not use fresh rice which has been like cooked just recently. Using stale rice here is the best, because when you put it inside the fridge overnight or a few days later, it becomes very dry. When it dries, it becomes more solid, because in the fridge all the moisture has been taken out of or expunged from the fridge. It becomes colder. So one of the process is like that. Don't ask me why or how, but it is like that. That's how the world works in physics wise and stuff. So once it's dry, it is when you put the sauce and water into the fried rice, it absorbs more of the liquid, so it's more flavorful. So that's one of the reasons why, from my perspective, that is. So I better scramble it. So now it's small little pieces here. If you were to do it without the water, it would be like not as big as, not as much looking as this one here. So it's almost done. Hopefully it's cooked, because I don't want to poison myself with salmonella and whatnot. So let's get a plate here. I can smell it already. It's quite nice, actually. Not to say I'm praising my own cooking. So let's separate it. This will be one of the garnishing things. We can put white powder into it as well. The white pepper. So some eggs here. Put it aside. Put some oil. Now we're going to do the chicken. Just a bit of oil, just enough for the garlic. So for the garlic, you have to be careful. One of the main ingredients of flavoring your food is, now I'm going to put this much garlic in there, all of it actually. One of the most important flavoring products or ingredients in cooking is garlic and also onions. Onions, when you want to caramelize the onions, let's move it around. You want to caramelize the onions, it takes a bit longer than the garlic. Whereas the garlic, once it becomes caramelized, it becomes brown. This is puke yellow or white yellow. It becomes dark very quickly. This the garlic, that is. So you have to keep an eye on it. You cannot just go off somewhere and take a piss and come back and your garlic will be like black already and very bitter. So toss it around, let it brown until you can smell it, and also you can see that it becomes golden brown, and that's the most important thing, golden brown. And the chicken will be put into or fried with the garlic. So with that chicken pieces here, you can actually use either onions or garlic. So it's golden brownish already, so let's put the chicken into it. So the garlic will flavor the chicken. So as I was saying, you can either use onions or garlic to flavor the chicken. Toss it around. Make sure it's cooked, okay? Don't want to get poisoning. This salmonella is the same old culprit. Quite a culprit. So I was like, there was one video by our controversial artist, what's his name? The one who sang the Gerryko in the rapper, and did a few movies as well. What's his name again? Forgot it. So it's getting dark already, the garlic. So let's plate it. Hopefully the chicken is cooked. Hopefully. You don't want it to be too cooked because it will be too chewy. Just want it to be just alright. So next up, some oil. So some of the chicken around here. Let's put it somewhere else. What's his name already? Can't remember. Name Wee, yeah, Name Wee. He did entertaining. Put some oil here, just enough for the onions, which I'm going to caramelize slowly under very low heat. Take some of the onions here into your palm. Yep, and crush it while you're putting it in. Put the rest inside. Wash your hands and stir. So one of the base tastes for that fried rice is onions. So keep an eye on the onions as well when you are stirring it or leaving it to caramelize properly. It will give it a very sweet taste to the onions. I mean to the fried rice. This one here. So leave it to caramelize. So Name did a program with some Malay rapper, talking about the good and bad of the Chinese people from the eyes of the Malays. One of the things that I had an idea for is making bak kut teh, which is a delicious herbal pork food from the Chinese. I love bak kut teh. If you were in PJ, do go to Asang Bak Kut Teh in SS2, SS3-ish. It's around that area, that LDP. So it's browning already. Around the LDP area, roughly around that what Motorola used to be, the site, which is now being transformed into a residential condominium slash commercial shopping center. Around there is Asang Bak Kut Teh. It's one of the best bak kut tehs I've ever tasted. So you don't need to actually go to Klang, which is the birthplace of bak kut teh, because bak kut teh was like a food for the opium drug addicts back in the day, about 100 years ago. Or was it food for the trishaw pullers? So it's browning already, so that's the time you can smell it. I can smell it already. Next up is this one here, the vegetables. Mix it around.
and that Malay Aizil Fadril whatever. They say turn up the heat. They say there's a bak kut teh, and the chicken variation or variant of the bak kut teh is called chi kut teh, as in chicken bak kut teh. Okay. So a couple of months ago, I had this idea for making bak kut teh just on chicken itself, to make it halal just for the Malay or the Jewish people. It will be a good business idea, because until now I haven't seen any bak kut teh, halal bak kut teh or chi kut teh. I didn't see any at all. I didn't try any. So if you were to watch this program, can you suggest some excellent chi kut teh? Because I have never encountered any chicken bak kut teh before. But again, do go to Ahsang bak kut teh in around that what Motorola used to be, which is now WD factory is around the area. That's delicious. So fry it around and put your rice into it. So turn down the heat, put the rice into it. So in the future videos, I will be talking in English but with an accent, like move it around, and also crunch it. It's dry, okay? Crunch it and put your my seasoning. It's beginning to, like say, get stuck to the pan already, even on low heat. Put some white powder or white pepper. Put salt, generous and put some of this oyster sauce. Just a bit will do. Just a blend of flavor to it.